Hello everyone, welcome to our final project from Engineer 305. My name is Julie. My partner next to me is Francisco Burgo. So today I want to show you what's in the data mining and how we use the data mining. First of all, the data mining is the process of analyzing data from different perspectives, summarizing it into useful information. The information can be used to increase the revenue, cut costs, or both in business. This following here is the top 5 use paradigms for the data mining in MATLAB. The first one is the Part1 mining with clusterings. The second one is neural networks classification. The next one is linear and nonlinear regression. Next but not last is the Gaussian, and finally is a logistics classification. Next one, I want to let Francisco talk about the classification learner in MATLAB.
This is Francisco, and so the data that we use is called INFERT, which is short for infertility. The data is based on infertility after spontaneous and induced abortion. So just to define some words real quick, spontaneous in this data means miscarriages, and induced means self-done abortions. And in this data we have six factors: education ranging from 0 to 5 years, 6 to 11, and 12 and plus years. And then we have our age, and then parity, which is the amount of times a woman has been pregnant, and then induced, which is the induced abortion, and then what case they are, which is everybody's mainly is 1, and spontaneous, which is miscarriages had by the woman. And then when we go back to our data, we use the classification learner app in the machine learning section, and as you can see, the 3 different colors for the 3 different amounts of years each woman has had education for. And here, just as an example, in the scatter plot, we have age as X, and then parity, the amount of times they've been pregnant. And as you can see, mainly the women who have had 6 and through 11 years of education, they're mainly ranging from 1 to 4, and then 12 plus years are also ranging from 1 to 4 mainly. And then as you can see, women who had equal to or less than 5 years of education are more prone to having more pregnancies. And so what we did is that we put this data in the different types of classification, such as complex tree, and then we have SVN fine Gaussian, and then in the KNN for K nearest neighbor, and just for a little fun in the boosted trees. And so here you can see that we can look at the data and then model predictions after the data. And as you can see here, you can see which ones are correct, and then when we click, the X's represent the misclassified points of the data from each classification. And here you can see KNN has the most accuracy for classifying this data. In the confusion matrix, here you can see the number of correctly classified data points in the diagonal, and the boxes in red are the misclassified points for each category. And then you could see which is the current classifier, and over here on this side you can see the accuracy again. Now when we switch to neural net clustering, we already put the data in already, so we can just, let's say we can just retrain it, and it'll retrain. And so we could see the neighbor distances, and here the light colors in between the neurons represent clusters that are very similar, and then here in this little random area there is like no similarity in this one cluster, so this is a pretty good representation of the clusters and their similarity. So now I'll move to the PowerPoint and show just some results and visualizations to help better understand the data. So this is the results of the classification learner, and you can see that from our own trial that KNN is still the best classifier at 90.3% accuracy. And then here's our confusion matrix for the classification, and it shows the percent correct classified within each classifier. Then here's the ROC curve that we looked at earlier. The area under the curve is the overall quality of the classifier. Perfect classifying is a right angle. This is the formulation for the decision tree that we're about to show you right now. So here it classifies them by age, parity, then age again, parity, then induced, spontaneous, and at the end of each broken out branch you can see where they fall in the years of education in the decision tree. This is our neural pattern recognition formula that is used in MATLAB, and here's the number of hidden neurons chosen. We lowered it to 9 in the test. Then here in the neural pattern recognition, again, here's the confusion matrix for it, and as you can see on the bottom right corner of each square you see the total percentage of correct classified, and underneath in red is the percent misclassified. So as you can see, they're pretty good percentages: 90, 83, 88, and 85 for the target classes. And then to the right of it is the best validation performance. So you can see that the training data is closely aligned with the test and validation, and where you see the dotted line is the best, it's slightly close. So here are some neural clustering results. You can see the neighbors and then the input planes and see the influential weights.
So after we have done with these three types of machine learning tools in MATLAB, we can conclude that they are really helpful and user-friendly when trying to detect the patterns or develop the predictive model with big data sets. Moreover, it's rich with the visualization, and from what we have seen from the level of education, it has influence on the women's awareness. Thank you for listening.